They told him to leave, said people like him don't belong here. Someone shoved his shoulder, like he was invisible. Franklin Brooks, a man of faded memories and old battle scars, stood there, his back hunched, not just from age, but from the weight of rejection that had followed him like a shadow. The street was cold, and the sky seemed to mirror his loneliness, gray and endless. A former U.S. Army veteran, now living in a battered van near the edge of town, Franklin had grown accustomed to the cruel glares, the whispers behind his back. His only companion was a loyal German shepherd named Lucky. Lucky had been by his side through thick and thin, never questioning, never leaving. Despite the bruises of life, Franklin was kind. He offered the last of his food to Lucky, even when he had barely enough for himself. Yet the world saw him as nothing more than a ghost, someone who had been discarded by society. That night, as the cold wind howled through the streets, Franklin sat on the curb, Lucky resting by his feet. He sighed, his weary eyes staring into the darkness, his mind lost in thoughts of a past long gone. Suddenly, Lucky stood up. The dog's ears pricked, his gaze fixed on something in the distance. Franklin glanced down at him, but before he could speak, Lucky tugged on the leash, pulling him forward. "What is it, boy?" Franklin muttered, following the dog's lead. Lucky's steps were hurried, urgent. Franklin's heart skipped a beat. Something felt off, something he couldn't put his finger on. The dog stopped at the entrance of an alleyway, eyes locked on a shadow in the dark. Then, a faint sound, a low moan. Franklin froze. The alley was empty, but the noise, it didn't belong. Lucky tugged harder, pulling him closer. Franklin hesitated, but followed. His breath caught in his throat as they rounded the corner. There, in the dim light, lay a man, barely conscious, blood seeping from a wound in his side. Franklin's heart raced. He reached for his phone to call for help, but then, he hesitated. Was this just another mistake? Or was this the moment that would change everything? But what happened next changed everything. Watch part 2 to see what happens. Next, ***.